America keeps falling deeper into debt. If we don't cut spending soon, we will have to get one of these and make really drastic cuts. Then all of America will be like Prichard, Alabama.
I want to know why we're not the budget. Why are we not the budget?
This woman's angry because her husband worked for the city of Prichard, Alabama for 32 years. He held up his end of the bargain. But the city hasn't sent him a pension check now for more than a year. The city council says, we don't have the money. In 2003, an accountant warned the town, you will run out of money by 2009. The politicians then did nothing, as they admit today.
Nothing never changed. Nothing never was accomplished.
Right on schedule in 2009, the town went broke. So politicians declared bankruptcy and just stopped sending pension checks to retired city employees. More than 100 of them.
We want our money! They didn't do anything that they were supposed to do. They didn't pay us like they're supposed to.
Alfred Arnold recently retired from the Prichard Fire Department after working 35 years for the city. He'd hoped to relax and travel, but when the pension check stopped coming, he had to get another job. Now, at age 66, he's a security guard at the local mall. His wife was a city employee, too.
She was a police sergeant. She got 2 checks, and they told her there was no more money left. We put our money in every payday like you're supposed to, and the city is supposed to pay us, but they did not.
Some retirees have died while waiting for a check, like the woman who lived in this house.
Because she had no money left. She had to let her caregiver go. And there was no one to see about her, to care about her. And she died on a Wednesday, and they did not find her until on a Sunday.
Gwen Williams worked for the Prichard Public Library for 32 years. Now, at age 77, she had to start a new career as a school teacher.
The city knew that this was going to happen, and they could have done something about it.
Something like cutting back on frivolous spending. But instead, the politicians just gave their website a makeover. And the mayor of the town makes
about $95,000, $97,000 a year. You know. So if he makes $97,000 a year, why can he pay us?
And the city has
2 or 3 judges where they don't need but one, and they got 2 lawyers.
Plus,
the public golf course has been a joke as long as I can remember.
The golf course? Yes, Prichard still runs one even though it loses money. Costs taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars every year. The city owns several barely used office buildings. The city also runs an Office of Economic Development and the Prichard Housing Authority. They employ 40 government workers.
There should be cuts made.
Prichard's mayor would not talk to us, but the city's lawyer did.
Why didn't they make cuts? There's very little left to cut. You're going to be cutting into police and fire departments and getting the trash picked up.
But the mayor makes almost $100,000 a year. Why not cut that?
Well, that's a political decision.
The city has a golf course that loses money every year. The website just had a makeover. Isn't that wrong?
Wrong by whose definition? The city has its obligation to provide some degree of city services.
How much does the town pay you?
I don't understand why that would be relevant.
It just seems wrong that the lawyers and the politicians get money, but the retirees don't.
I have been asked to come into a hard situation. I don't know what the total is right now. They owe me still about $40,000 to $50,000. I've been asked to help the city, and I'm helping the city.
But the mayor making $100,000? You making thousands of dollars? It's like you guys are looting the town.
I strongly disagree with that representation. We're not looting the town. The city has a terrible financial situation.
But the city is in a terrible situation because the politicians keep spending. Had the cuts been made years ago, the city would be able to pay its pensions today.
It was almost as if the notion and thinking was that it would fix itself, but it wasn't.
The man saw where it was going. He could have did something about it. He could have stopped it. He could have came to us and said, listen, we may have to cut your benefits a little bit, but we got to keep this thing going. He never did a thing, but just let it go.
Reminds me of these folks in Washington, who despite the warnings keep spending more than we have. But as our debt gets uglier, at some point people will stop lending to us, and then economists say,
you end up with what you had in Prichard, Alabama. All of a sudden you say, well, sorry, we can't pay you. We actually don't have the money. We're broke.
It's why people say we should take our unsustainable federal budget and start cutting now. Otherwise, we'll be like the town of Prichard, and we'll have to take something like this and make really drastic, horrible cuts. Think it can't happen to you? Think again, says the wife of a retired fireman in Prichard, Alabama.
If they will do it to us, they will do it to you.